back, keep rolling. Go back, but make first swing before she does it.
Here we go.
And action.
Doug, don't!
First day of a diary.
Okay, here we go. Lock it up. And let's roll sound. Quiet, please.
Of my time filming this movie, Behind the Mask.
It's your report here, Taylor, not mine. This is yours.
We thought it'd be apropos if we begin with my very first shot of my first movie. I'm shooting a lunar eclipse. How cool is that? There are two aesthetics in our film. One is a cinematic version, meaning a full filmic look.
Are the stone kids standing where they were?
Are you guys standing where you were?
And the other aesthetic is a docu, first-person, sort of Blair Witchian perspective.
Oh, give it! Fuck. And then it's decision time.
I can't believe you just got that on tape.
Yeah, still rolling.
This morning was terrific. We all set out on a tech scout attended by all of your keys, all of the heads of your departments. The particular locations that we scouted today were Main Street of Glen Echo, which is a town called Troutdale up here outside of Portland, and some B-roll footage of a waterfall and woods and several other elements that we don't necessarily need a full crew for, because these are small insert shots that we're going to insert into a documentary segment that opens up the film. Okay, so stand here. Right, this is the camera. And Taylor's going to be Had an amazing day today.
We're gonna mess up slants.
The kids. The kids upstairs, remember they're
Went to our courthouse. That's our first location. Courthouse is beautiful courthouse. Men of Honor used this courthouse. Ready?
Hold on, go ahead, stop. I need a little more support on this end. I'm kind of pushing that way.
Okay. Let's do it one more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's great. So let's see now. Everything was going well when I was informed that the new installment of the Hannibal Lecter series, the book, is coming out early next year. And wouldn't you know it, it's called Behind the Mask.
No, it would fuck it up.
And that really sucks. We had a wonderful tech scout. We went to our abandoned farmhouse today, which my production designer, Travis Zeruni, has been cleaning and staying up till 4 in the morning, getting ready and preparing, and it's amazing. This place is incredible. I'm Travis Nicholas Zeruni, the production designer on Behind the Mask. Now see, I go into the film. And this is our art department. This is the cider house, which we pulled out tons of farm equipment and brought this beautiful piece in from the barn, which you'll see later. Dressed it with preserves. I can't do it, dude. I'm not gonna be able to do it. This is all perfectly dressed. We'll build a fake wall here. Okay, Hart, I can't. We found it in the barn. Oh my God.
That's an outhouse.
This is awesome.
Okay.
Where did you get this?
I left all that crap up top just to keep it as spooky looking as possible. My only question is, what do you think about all this stuff on the ground?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty gnarly in there.
Yeah, Jared.
We're gonna go.
Jared, we get a Doug
good.
shot, man, right here from the inside of this freaking thing.
Had a really long tech scout today. I got to know the crew really well, and by the time we broke for lunch around 4:45, after starting at 7 in the morning, I got to deliver the amazing news. We locked on Robert Englund.
Cut.
A movie star in the horror genre, and I have wanted him desperately to accept the role of Doc Halloran, which is an homage to Halloran from The Shining.
Well, my involvement began as all, connections are with the script. I'm English trained. In England, in my training there, we're told to serve the writer first. And as you can well imagine, a lot of horror scripts come across my desk. They're submitted to me. Some good.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about.
Some not so good. A majority of them can be terrible. And in bed one night with Dave Letterman joking in the background, I began to read this script, and I couldn't put it down. I read it until 2 in the morning, and it was smart.
Paradise Lost. Found it.
It was self-referential. It had a unique, original character to it. This psycho killer, genius, charming, talkative. And he's got this terrific new kid playing the lead. Nathan actually had finished the body of his work, no pun intended, before I arrived on the scene.
I started obsessing more and more about the physicality of the character last night.
You're gonna be in hell if we do this. I mean, I'm just saying.
I think there's ways around it.
I like the barefoot, and frankly, I never thought of it, but it's very boy.
And it's not something that you've seen in any of the other car sequence.
No, never.
I was jumping out of the van with jeans and a t-shirt and nothing else, and it was cold, but
you would have been cold, but you're still stoked on adrenaline, so
totally. And that's what was happening. As long as we were shooting, I was fine.
And
once we weren't shooting, problem.
Had I been here earlier in the film, I would have counseled Nathan to just pace himself. A lot of times the younger actors, they give 110%, but in the horror genre, especially with a lot of effects and elements in the frame or in the shot, a lot of times it's more important just to get that light in your eye and be 75% there on your marks, with the flames, with the gunshots, with the blood and guts and the rigs and everything, then 110% and be off your mark or out of the light or exhausted or hurt or injured and still have 4 more weeks to go in the shoot. So that's sort of the most important thing that I've learned over the years doing these films.
Is that a good one? It's perfect. Yeah. We find our light. It works great.
Scott Klosterman and I had some phone calls early on, and I think we sort of felt each other out, kind of saw eye to eye on the character and the nature of the film. And so that gave me some confidence to just sort of come here and show up and stand and deliver. And Scott's great, I mean, one of the things Scott brings to the set that's so needed, not dissimilar from Wes Craven, is a sense of humor.
That looks pretty freaking awesome!
Get this, I'm doing something like cinematic here. We're gonna get this.
Sticking both cameras or sticking just...
So I guess... Oh, see, he was right on her. Am I not supposed to be talking? Good.
1 screen, 2 screens, hitting together. Everyone just freezes. This will be the biggest rig. Everyone's just frozen. Hey, Shane. Awesome. That was perfect. You know what's going to be so great about this, Jared?
But it's more like, sound like too much. I don't know. Well,
Let's just try.
More like you're walking away.
Okay.
In this sleepy little town of Glen Echo, where I'm watching behind me, can you get a shot of that? Can you get a shot?
Here we go.
This is the eruption after 24 years of silence and sleep. Mount St. Helens.
Dude, lose the bottle. You might be able to use that. If you don't lose it. There you go.
The combustion is slowly dissipating into the air, where the fallout is expected to kill us all. And right now we're stuck. We don't have any gas, and
it's heading our way.
There's a murderer loose.
I don't know where we are. There's a murderer loose. Dogs are super sensitive to volcanic eruptions, and Bailey actually sensed this before. Bailey tried to warn us, but
Backbone my cubs, they can't.
Whoa, dude! If I was in that plane, I'd just see it. Dude, go another way.
Scott really provides, I think, that atmosphere. He's running a loose, good ship.
Go again. Wow. Okay. First of all, thirdly, And second of all, all right. Second of all is remember to kiss the scythe?
I didn't know the people involved, and I showed up, and the young actress Angela Goethals,
It's no good.
Help me then, quit
He's coming for us.
who I saw off Broadway a couple of years ago with my wife in an extraordinary performance in a play called The Good Times They Are Killing Me.
Back to the house. He didn't plan on that.
I've got one other really special cameo, and that is Zelda Rubinstein. She is the 4'3", wonderful telepathic woman in Poltergeist. The come to the light, that woman. She is going to play the role of the librarian in this movie. It's a day worth of work, and she's going to be terrific. It will impart the ghost story of Leslie Vernon onto our supposed survivor girl.
He was forced to live in the Siger house on the farm and driven like a slave to till the fields with only a hand scythe. Until one day, legend has it, the boy revolted.
So with Zelda Rubinstein and Robert Englund in my movie, I couldn't be more excited. Today is October 30th. Didn't do much today other than storyboard. I'm feeling really prepared and really excited. I got up, actually slept late this morning. I slept till about 9 and went with Jaron to storyboard. We storyboarded for about 7 hours and I'm feeling great.
Because Leslie is standing right above her. Right behind the library. Low POV.
I've got a 7:30 breakfast and 9 o'clock production meeting, and my 2 lead actors are flying in tomorrow, so I've got a table read after that.
Why do you need to bury it?
It comes in handy at the end of the gig. When the job's done and you gotta lay low, everybody thinks you're dead. They plant you and walk away. Look at you. We have to practice this, Taylor. I have to get used to it, otherwise we'd lose our frickin' minds down there.
There's a movie called The Black Shoe Drifter. It's a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds made this film. It's pretty great, and I'm considering them to edit or at least digitize and start cutting my film up here while I'm shooting in Portland because they're local and I think they're really talented.
We're the editors. $20. Where's our bodyguard?
First log and capture of the whole film. Right here.
You filming? Actually, it's not film, it is tape. It is magnetic impulses upon celluloid, as film is a. It must be processed and developed.
Can I help you?
Play it off nonchalant.
What's happening? Are you stepping to me?
We went to check out a wooded area for one of our sequences, and we found a great one. And then we checked out a diner, and that was great too. I went over some costume designs with my costume designer from LA over the phone, and she's got this whole internet site that's on MSN, and so I can look at the pictures and talk to her because she's buying and fitting down in LA. Here's what I've learned so far as a director. When your actors show up, the very, very first thing you want to do is get wasted with them.
That's so that is, yeah.
Definitely. At a table read, and you know, it was all right. They're really strong actors, but it was very subdued, and you know, it was sort of kind of like just okay.
Is this just another failed business? One more victim of a stalled economy?
I realized we should have just all gone out and just chilled, you know, for a while. I've got 2 days, you know, 2.5 days, including the table read, to rehearse with my actors. and I'm used to theater. I'm used to having, let's say, 6 weeks to rehearse for a play.
Why are you afraid he'll come
Get
out
in
and
the
shoot
van.
So the question is, how do you maximize 2 days? How do you maximize the time you have with your actors and rehearse an entire movie in 2 days? Do you block?
No! Why not? Because he's waiting in the tool shed to kill you, okay? This is exactly what he wants you to do.
No, you're gonna change the blocking to conform with your, with the shots that you've already shot listed, or the space that you're in, or you conform that to the blocking. But you don't want to spend your time blocking. You want to spend your time getting the character or figuring out how you're going to get an actor to do a certain particular thing.
Yeah, and then when they had hit the wall, it would bounce back
so
instead of it.
I think what Jared's trying to say is it's as though you're anticipating the wall, that you see the wall. You're doing this thing before you actually hit the
Go ahead, Jared.
Hit the wall.
One way that make it simple, as you go in, shoulder hits the wall first, then snap your head, then you know that it's in the right sequence.
There you go.
Then we ended up deciding to scrap the storyboarding, and you know what? Screw it. We're all just going to go out and get blitzed. And that was the best thing because the actors are getting to know each other.
Hello, his name is Alf.
Hello.
Hello, this is Alf.
This is Judy.
We're all having a good time. And we all decided, the first table read was just whatever. It was horrible. But tomorrow, we're going to have a table read. And you know what? We're not going to have a table read. We're going to have a room read. We're not going to have a table. We're not going to have chairs. We're going to stand. And we're going to block. And we're going to do it. And we're going to read through it. And we're going to start and stop again. And get really into it. And at this point, these guys know each other so well. They're going to be, just interacting in a way that you couldn't do when you get off the plane and just have a table read.
Because it's as though she let the tackle go and then sort of ran with it. So point of view turns around, tackle comes up, boom, and then we see her kind of emerging from the black.
The destruction of the abandoned farmhouse exterior that the rain did. It just annihilated the exterior, so we checked that out. And it's not as bad as we thought, but it's definitely going to cost some money to figure out how to repair that. My production designer, Travis, he's just freaking out because he's got a whole lot to do and not a lot of help, and not a lot of time.
Watch out, you're fucking, this is all super dangerous, sir.
Did you see
Isn't that beautiful? We built this for Scott.
You know why that was so cool? Was because you can zoom in on the outcropping circles that go like this.
Right.
And that was Jason.
That's gonna have to change because we need an extra.
Yeah. It's just rabbit red. I want to make sure that this line is the exact same line that Leslie says later on. Did you change that line?
Which line?
Documents were sealed, lost, or destroyed.
Yeah.
And then Leslie says later on, did you say documents were sealed, lost, or destroyed?
Officials, yeah, that's the same.
You
Yep.
sure?
Yeah,
You
all it was.
don't want to go forward and check.
Oh, you mean you want to make sure it's the same as when he says it?
Yeah.
Oh.
What did you say, Taylor? Did you tell them they were sealed, lost, or destroyed?
Essentially what has happened is that now that I'm here in Portland and I've had the opportunity to go to the sets and to some of the locations where we're actually going to be shooting, it's become apparent because of budget constraints that we need to rewrite the script to fit the sets and the locations, not vice versa. We can't build a town, we can't create a barn silo, things like that. So the script needs to be rewritten to fit what we have available to shoot, what they have available to shoot with. So that's been the bulk of my job up here this week. To hear so many people up here working so hard and so dedicated to this script, and to hear that many voices talking about stuff that I wrote, it's blowing my mind. They're all talking about it in the most logistical, concrete terms, like, well, this is how we need to do this, and then Taylor's gonna have to do this, and talking about characters like real people and plot points like, it's not this abstract concept anymore. It's how are we gonna, are they going to run from the house to the barn, and how are we going to hang this kid? And it's just so bizarre and surreal. This is Scott. This room is awesome. This room is so awesome.
Glass insulated.
Open wire and glass insulated.
Squib mineral oil. Next to 40-year-old vegetables.
You got the light here that he turns on,
which will make it actually
which
happen.
will work. You got him opening the door. You've got a shot looking outside. You got a shot looking inside.
Okay.
From the orchard and runs into
Not from the orchard. She just comes around that frame.
Right. She emerges from the frame and goes into the tool shed.
Today was amazing. Today was my first day of production, and it was outstanding. I guess it went as well as it could have gone. So I've been told, because I don't really have a barometer yet, but it went great. We shot on Main Street of Troutdale, that's our Glen Echo, and that went well. We almost had a crisis. Oh, God. The whole point of shooting the Main Street of Glen Echo and Troutdale was we had this wonderful street, and we had a big hill with a bluff on it that overlooks Glen Echo, and we established that hill. And this morning that hill was in a cloud. There was no hill. It was just all white. And finally, with about 10 minutes to go, that cloud cleared, and we were able to get a shot of the bluffs. Then we moved. We had 3 location moves today, so otherwise it was a very light day, apparently, so I'm told, but we had 3 moves, so it did make the day long. We did the walk-run bit, and that went well. We shot it in a wide shot and took some choreographing, but that worked out pretty well. And then we took a tractor ride to get Leslie looking over the bluff, and picked cabbages up there, and that was great.
Today is our first day on film, but before we get to film, we have to shoot the morgue scene, and so the way we've done this is we've got one daylight shot in the apple orchard, so we're going to try to get to the apple orchard right at the end of the day, so that we have the entire night to take advantage of. But we got to get through the morgue, and the morgue is a very easy shot because it's basically a surveillance camera in a corner of the room, so it doesn't move. But the problem is that it's got to be blocked meticulously, because it's the shot that plays in the very last scene in the courtroom. And when we push in on the shot, it's got to be timed in a certain way so that everything resolves in the morgue in the right sequence to see it in the courtroom. Once we get out of the morgue, we have a location move. We go to the apple orchard. Hopefully we get our day shot in the apple orchard. Nightfall comes, and then we've got a complicated sequence that has numerous setups and numerous shots, and we're going to try to get that done all in 12 hours, which is going to be pretty ridiculous, especially seeing as this is my first day on film. So
we shot exteriors of Leslie's house. We shot the gravel road, the walk to and from Eugene's house. The walk to Eugene's was pretty crazy because we had to get it before nightfall, and you could just see the sun going down, and everybody rushing to get it. But we got it, and we shot in the morning. We shot the arrival at Leslie's house by the dot crew, and how they run from place to place thinking they see him, but they really don't. That was fun. All of a sudden the fog lifted, lots of sunlight, and we couldn't really get Doug's point of view. Then we did the boxing sequence where Leslie's working out boxing, and there was this little sukkah looking thing, and we hung a punching bag from there. Nathan's working out on it. The thing just fell right to the ground, so we had to string it up a couple times, but that looked really good. This is the call sheet. These are the 3 scenes we're doing right here. There's only 3 scenes, right? Leslie's house bedroom, Leslie's house library, and Leslie's house bedroom night. So we're going to capture Leslie waking up, and that's pretty quick. It's some choreography because we've got Doug and Todd's camera. We want to get Leslie out of the bed and behind the camera. But this is the big scene. So if you can see here, scene 19, Leslie in the library. You look over there, that's 3 3/8 pages of script. 3 3/8 pages we're going to do all in one take. See, Aaron probably thinks we're going to cut that up, but we're going to have one, Todd's point of view, he's going to shoot the whole scene, and Doug's point of view, he's going to shoot the whole scene. And I know I have such strong actors that they're going to kick ass. So we bang that out in 2 takes. You know, you actually do 1 extra for safety, just in case something didn't go wrong. So let's say we do an average of 3 or 4 takes per scene. That's 3, 6, 9. That's 9 takes. I mean, this could be a light day. We'll see.
America!
Fuck yeah! I'm trying to get Scott Wilson, and I'm so excited because I've spoken to him, and I think he might end up getting up here.
My old buddy Scott Wilson, whom I worship at the altar of, from Great Gatsby and obviously In Cold Blood.
It's really a terrific script. The humor, there's so much humor in it. There's so many elements in it that just make you say, I've got to do that. And I'm glad I did. There's wonderful young actors on it. The director is focused. He knew what he wanted. He helped write the script. He should make a play out of this screenplay because it's really just wonderful dialogue.
I made a choice to provide a counterbalance to all those things that we hold good and pure. You chose journalism.
Eugene is the old pro. I don't think I could have played this role when I was 24.
How do you manage to survive these things when they'd so clearly be fatal for the rest of us?
Now, then, let's just say that that's part of the trade we can't go into. There are secrets. But he's the old pro that kind of sets the professional standard. If he didn't have all the younger guys, though, have outstripped him, but they still venerate his experience. So it was a lot of fun playing the guy and kind of being a role model for the next generation of slashers and dashers.
He's got a conflict for the days we've got Eugene, which is this Sunday and Monday, the 14th and 15th. And so I've talked to Aaron, the AD, and it looks like we can push the whole schedule and move it around so that Eugene would be shooting next Thursday and Friday, which means that we have more time to find Eugene's house, production designer has more time to set it up, Eugene has more time to prepare, costume designer has more time to fit Eugene, and it also means that we can push the post-hole digger gag, which is a big gag, a couple days. Michael Jones, the line producer, says to me, you know, we've got this dilemma because this gag I want, which is I want to do in one shot, I want to show Leslie punching a hole through the car door window, grabbing the driver, and then pulling him out and snapping his neck over the window, so the door where the window's been busted in, snapping his head over the side. And no one knows how to do it. There's a stunt fee and a body double, or what do we do? And if you use candy glass, then you're not going to be, whatever. Anyway, I said, wait, how about we fog up the windshield and we use a dummy inside of the car door. We shoot one shot from inside the car with the actual actor. The stuntman comes in, punches the window. It shattered, it spiders the glass. We immediately cut to, we're outside. And this is the one shot I want. We have a dummy in the car, fog up the window, and we have Leslie come in, who's the dummy, dressed in Leslie's clothes, punch through the window, grab the dummy head, and crack his head over the side of the door.
And action.
All of a sudden, that gets rid of visual effects department, because they don't have to deal with any blood or anything like that, because I'm not impaling on glass, I'm just cracking a head. And it gets rid of an extra stuntman, and it gets rid of endangering an actor.
We are just about to finish week dose.
Actually, we're just about to finish week 2.
All right, that's a wrap on sound, and that's a picture wrap.
Sets itself up for a sequel. Nothing wrong with sequels.
Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh, psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away.
You know, we usually start off with really crappy food until someone says we need something healthy, and then we put something healthy on. So I said, all right, well, this movie's going to be different. We're going to start off with all health food and vegetables, all of that stuff, and see how long we can go until someone complains that there's no cookies. And it happened.
Hey, cut! Okay, that was awesome.